What's up, YouTube? It's your boy JB, and I am here tonight with a review for Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 3, Episode 3. And the episode was titled, Here Comes the Tiffany. Alright, you guys, so before we get into the review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel, and you're not yet subscribed to the channel, then do me a big favor and hit that subscribe button and stop taking me out on a date, and at the end of it, sticking me with the bill. Very rude, you know. And then also, before we get into the review, also do me another favor and go subscribe to my planner channel, which the link is in the description bar below. You guys can search it. It is Jeromeplanit. That's not all one word. It's Jerome space planet. It's Jerome space plan space it with an exclamation point. You can search it, or again, it's in the description bar below, as well as my email address and everything else that you guys want to know about me. Also, you guys need to start plugging my social media. Follow me on social media. On Instagram, I am Jbsayzwhat, just like here. On Twitter, I am Jbsayzwhat with the underscore. And on Snapchat, I don't know that one. Don't use Snapchat like that, so yeah. And then my planner Instagram is Jeromeplanit. Now that's all one word. So it's all in the description bar, all down there. Now, without further ado, before we get into the review, let's get into the review. Why did I say that? Let's talk about it. Interesting episode. All right, you guys. So let's start the episode up with Melody. So we see Melody, and Mel has invited Tisha over to her house so that that they can catch up with each other. At this point, Tisha and Mel are moving forward in their relationship, which is a good thing. But the thing for me, I saw it on Instagram earlier. I think I saw this clip maybe today or yesterday. Either OMFG Reality posted it or Carlos King, one of the two posted it, right? So I'm just like, how long before the shoe drops? Because I just don't know. When it comes to Mel and Tisha, you never know how long they're going to be cool, right? So they're catching up with each other, and Mel asks Tisha, how are things going, right? So Tisha says, well, me and Ma, so we're really busy with Black, and we also are ambassadors for Texas Cigar Week in Houston. So, we going down there to do that, and we also having a tasting for, this champagne, chocolate in a bottle. Is that the name of it? I believe that's what she said, right? I believe that's what she said the name of the bottle was. And then we also are looking to open up a second location for Black. Kudos to you. Actually, you know what? I was just in Houston recently. I wonder if they've opened. I wonder if they even found a location or opened it. Because if they did, I would actually be interested in trying it out. So then, Tisha asked Mel how she doing. And, Mel was like, well, right now with me, I'm good. Because, with the freedom that I got, it's just I'm learning a lot about myself, and people don't respect each other your time, which that is true. People when you text them, sometimes people expect you to text them back like that. So she's just enjoying her newfound freedom. I don't blame you, Mel, especially after being tethered to that you were tethered to. I don't blame you, sis. So then Tisha, Mel is asking Tisha about she and Marceau. Well, COVID brought us together, and but about 4 to 6 months ago, Marceau, he's been doing this development project, and with us going down to Houston, like I feel that that's gonna help us, get back on track. So then Mel asked her, well, do you think that you guys would, seek out counseling? She says yes. And Mel says, well, Dr. Francis is a good one, which Dr. Francis is a good one. I will give her that. Dr. Francis is a good one. But we all know we all know the relationship with Martell and Dr. Francis. Do you think that it would be the same situation with Marceau? Because Marceau is similar to Martell. So with the whole male chauvinist thing, they had these set ideals for what the role of a man is versus the role of a woman. I don't think that Marceau would necessarily listen to the likes of a Dr. Francis. Let's keep it real. I just don't think that Marceau would be willing to sit down and listen to Dr. Francis. You guys can let me know what you think about that, and we'll discuss that in the comment section below. So we're gonna move on. All right, guys. Next up, let's talk about Martell's, right? So Martell's over to his mother's house, and Mama Holt, and he's putting. I don't know what he was putting out, but he was putting some stuff out for snakes in her yard, right? I mean that's the downfall of living in a country area. You have snakes because even in my hometown, we used to have snakes in the yard all the time. He won't. Oh God, I be thinking about these things like when it comes to, because you guys know next year that I want my own house. And I be thinking about this shit. I be like, damn, if I have snakes, if I have rodents, which God forbid, I hope I don't have a rodent. But if you have any kind of infestation of anything, that's gonna be on me to take care of, and I'm not that type of guy. Like I'm just not that guy. Like I'm just not that dude, but I would have to be, right? So then, Martell and his mom sit down, right? So he's telling her about the last time he went to Mel's house. Now, I'm glad he explained this because it didn't make any sense in the last episode, and I didn't really talk about it, right? But in the last week's episode, when he went over to Mel's house, him and Mel was outside talking, remember? And then the next thing we know, he was knocking at the door, and Miss Vanessa let him in, which I was confused, like, you were just outside, so how? But he said Mel went in the house and slammed the door behind her. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. So he's talking about how, he went in the house, he tried to hug Miss Vanessa. She said, did she hug you? He says, no, she didn't. And it didn't seem like his mom was too surprised by that, right? So then, Martell tells his mom that Miss Vanessa said that, it was uncomfortable for them to be that close to each other. And she's like, why would it be uncomfortable? He's like, that's what I was trying to figure out. And then he told her that, Miss Vanessa said that she wanted to talk to him, solo, basically. And I'm going to agree with Martell's mom, right? Why does she want to talk to you? Like, you and Mel were in the marriage. So, when it comes to, because I can't even think what Martell's mom's name is. Miss Holt, Mama Holt said that, when it comes to Martell and Mel, she still looks at Mel as her daughter-in-law. But when it comes to them and their stuff, she stays out of it, and she feels that Miss Vanessa should stay out of it as well. And when she said that, I'm like, you know what? I guess I ain't gonna say I guess. I do agree with her about that, right? When it comes down to it, it was Mel and Martell in a marriage, and Miss Vanessa, yeah, I know you want the best for your child. I know you want the best for your grandkids, but you got to back out of that. That's between Melody and Martell. So I'm in agreement with Mama Holt that should be between those two, right? And she feels that she should stay in her own lane. To an extent, I get that, right? To an extent, I will give her that. Stay in your own lane, but we all know how Martell is, right? We all know that Martell is the type that'll go, he'll try to egg Mel on to get a reaction out of her. And her mom is the one that's seeing that. And, especially with him, he's the type to put everything on social media. He tries to paint a narrative. That's the issue that's always the issue that I have with Martell, is the fact that Martell tries to paint this narrative, especially when it comes to him with Arian. He paints this narrative that, like all last season, the narrative was that Mel cheated, Mel wasn't sucking his dick, Mel wasn't doing this, Mel wasn't doing that, it was all on Mel, and, he can't take any kind of accountability, which we're going to talk about that in a little bit just as well. So then we do see Martell, so he meets with Vanessa, right? And, he's still in his feelings because of Miss Vanessa giving him the hand. It wasn't really that big of a deal. So she tells him, like, Martell, I'm not here to attack or to place blame. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. I'm like, okay, cool. So they're trying to, I guess, just make peace. So she says that Martell made a post about her keeping the kids away from him, and she got attacked for that. So then he explained what happened, and I'm like, okay, that makes a lot of sense, right? He said that, Mel stopped communicating with him, and Miss Vanessa was his only way of communication, and he felt that she took that away from him, but he apologized for that. I'm like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. But the issue that I do have, right, is the fact that he took it to social media. That's the thing with this. You took it to social media. Now, unless she blocked you or something, and I don't even know what the post said. I don't know what the post said, but you could have been, I don't know. I guess what he could have done, even if he, so, I'm gonna play a little bit of devil's advocate for just a second, you guys. Don't go off on me. I'm gonna play a devil's advocate. Actually, I'm not really playing devil's advocate, right? So, what Martell could have done instead of making a post saying that she was keeping the kids away from him, he could have just easily made a post saying, hey, you could tag Miss Vanessa and be like, hey, Miss Vanessa, I've been trying to contact you. I don't know, what's going on. I'm trying to talk to the kids and, reach out to me, like, DM me, call me, whatever. He could have done that instead of if he's, because she said he told her, the post was that she was trying to keep the kids away from him as well. Take that part out, right? And just clean it up and be like, hey, like I just said a minute ago, hey, Miss Vanessa, I'm reaching out to you, I can't get in contact with Mel, and I tried to reach out to you. I don't know, what's going on. I don't know if you're in a bad, if if there's no service where you are, whatever. You could have just said in a nicer, cleaner way. That way she didn't get attacked and make it look like she's trying to keep your kids away from you. Then, after all of this has been said and done, they talk about the cheating, and I'm not going to go too deep into it because the issue that I have with him is the fact that he's never able to take any kind of accountability for his actions. Because she said it was a conscious effort for him to cheat, which it absolutely was. One time I might give you that it was a mistake. But more than that, 5 years worth of cheating, that was a conscious effort, my dude. Like and that's my issue with him. He loves to place the blame. No. Own your part. Say, you know what, I wasn't the best husband. Take accountability for what you did. And the issue that I have with Martell, like I said, the issue that I truly have with the man is the fact that anytime someone talks about him cheating, he talks about what Mel did not do. That's what bothers me when he talks about what Mel didn't do. Mel didn't suck my dick. Mel didn't do this. Mel didn't do that. Mel didn't do that. What did Martell do? That's the real question. What did Martell do? Did Martell tell Mel that he wasn't happy? Did Martell tell Mel that he wasn't fulfilled sexually? Did Martell sit down and have any conversations with Mel? If Martell can say no to those answers, then Martell needs to look in the mirror and take accountability for what the hell he did. We're moving on. I guess we are. All right, guys. Next up, let's talk about Marceau, right? So we see Marceau. He's at Black. He's having a meeting. He's having a coaching meeting with the staff. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't listening to that conversation, so I can't regurgitate to you what that conversation was. What I will tell you is he went off to the side. He texted Jalen. Jalen came in. So when Jalen came in, he told him, "Oh, we're close to making 3." I was confused. What does 3 mean? $3, $3,000, 300,000, 3. Now I know it ain't 3 million, but what is 3? What is 3? Is it 3,000, 300,000? Like, what is the 3, Jalen? And Jalen said to Marceau that he will text him what the numbers are at the end of the night. I mean, that should be something that that should have been something that you've been doing as the GM. You should compile all your numbers, and you should have a nightly record of what you did at the bar, how many people came into the restaurant, how many drinks, at the bar, how many drinks were sold, how many of them were alcoholic, how many of them were non-alcoholic, inventory of the food, what did you sell, what was your highest seller for the night, like all that kind of stuff. How many guests came in, did you host any parties, did you do this, that should be some stuff that Jalen's already doing. But I'm not going to fault Jalen, right? Because of the fact that Jalen doesn't have any experience being a general manager. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my God, let's nitpick at Jalen. And Jalen didn't do this. Jalen didn't do that. Jalen didn't do this. Jalen didn't do that. Actually, that's what Marceau was doing, right? So Marceau says that the numbers are hitting. And he asks Jalen, how does he think his experience is, right? So Jalen says he thinks his experience is good, right? He was like, so Marceau says, so what would you grade yourself without the excuses? He's like, what excuses? So then Marcel was talking about the fact that at one point, I guess, they ran out of cups. What kind of cups do y'all have? Like, it's a restaurant, so I would hope y'all have glasses. How do y'all run out? That's a question. How do you run out of glasses or cups? But specifically, he said cups. Why do y'all have cups at a restaurant? I mean, only time I see people with cups at a restaurant is if you're going to be drinking coffee or something like that. You know, you got your little coffee cup. But as far as like if you're getting a soda, if you're getting water, if you're getting a beer, if you're getting a martini, that comes in a glass. And Jalen said, but I did tell you about that, and you basically kind of pushed me off. He was like, and Marcel was like, but I got enough space here where we can build for more. But your nephew is just saying that you pushed him off, right? And then he's also saying that the fact that when he texts you and Tisha about things, y'all tell him to figure it out. Once again, now I did advocate, like I will say I did advocate for Jalen being general manager last season, but I did have my reservations about him being general manager because he does not have the experience. And I may have, I don't remember if I said it or not in the review, I believe I did. I felt like at that time, maybe Jalen should have been, you know, they maybe should have hired someone to be the general manager, or have a co-general manager, right? Why do I do air quotes? Have a Jalen and a co-general manager, so that way Jalen can shadow that person. So that way, one, you'll have a general manager there during the day, then you can have one there at night. Now, mind you, I don't know when the restaurant is. The restaurant is open all day and all night. I don't know that, but you would think they would do something like that. And then the fact that, like I said, Jalen doesn't have the experience as a GM. Have him shadow someone. Like you literally had the chef shadow somebody. Why not do that with Jalen? And Jalen in this episode asked him to hire hire an assistant GM, and Marcel agrees to that. I'm like, that makes sense. So then we see Tisha. So Tisha is in Houston by herself, right? She said, you know, Marcel, he is back in Huntsville working on chocolate in a bottle. So then she calls him. She says, you know, we're in Houston, but I want a little bit of romance time while we're here. This fool says, so you want to have sex? She said she wants romance, Marcel. Then he's talking about the fact that he wanted to have them have a romantic candlelit dinner, but he says, you know, for finances, we can just forego that and just have sex. You barbaric idiot. Why do you think she just wants you to pound up on her like a monkey? Dude. The shit that Marcel says, and I think sometimes he just be trying to be funny and get a reaction, but that's not funny. Right? That's just not funny. But we're gonna move on. All right, you guys, so we are officially introduced to Tiffany and to Lewis. This ain't gonna be that long with Tiffany and Lewis. This is literally just an introduction to them. So now I will say the jury is out on Miss Tiffany. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about Tiffany going forward, especially when we talk about Destiny's Party, right? I just don't know how I'm gonna feel about Tiffany. So like I said, we introduced to Tiffany. So Tiffany and her husband, they have been married now a year. They have two sons that, you know, so she has a son from a previous relationship and Lewis has a son from a previous relationship. So they are now a blended family. They talk about the fact that the boys get along well with each other. They have, you know, grown to be brothers with one another. You know what? I think I have a stepsister that I've never met. I just thought about that. I have a stepsister that I have never met. I'm pretty positive. I think I got a stepsister. I literally believe I have a stepsister that I've never met. I think so. I mean, I've heard them talk about my stepdad's another daughter that he has. Interesting. Never met the girl. I don't know. I just thought about that. I really just thought about that. Talking about those boys, how they've come together to be brothers. And I got a sister that I don't even know. She's younger than me, I know that much. So what are we talking about? So, she's talking to Lewis about Mel. She's telling him that she talked to Mel and that Mel wants to get some interns from, some of the HBCUs in the area, which I think that'd be a good idea. Take some kids from the HBCUs and, since Mel is has many different hats that she's wearing, they could get, if they are going, whatever field they're going to, if she's working in that field, they can get the knowledge and the experience from that. So I think that is absolutely a positive. So I'm here for that, right? So then she also tells him that, she was invited to Destiny's party and she's going to go. Now, she did have a conversation. They did have a conversation about Mel and Martell. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, y'all have only been married for a year. I wouldn't take any kind of relationship advice from either one of you guys because, one, you guys are just remarried and you've only been remarried for a year. You guys did not say how long your previous relationships were or why your previous relationships didn't work out. I don't care why they didn't work out, but you never mentioned your previous relationship. You just talk about this one. This one is brand new. So yeah, I'm not gonna take relationship advice from someone who's just freshly married. No shade to you. I just wouldn't take the advice from you. I'm sorry to tell you that. I wouldn't, because like I said, you're remarried only a year into the marriage. You're divorced. Nothing, not shaming you or anything like that, but you're divorced. And I don't know how long you were with your previous, spouse, how long you were with them before, how long you were divorced from them before you got married to each other. I don't know that. So yeah, advice, keep it to yourself and away from me. That's all I would say. But let's move on to wrap up the episode. All right, you guys. So we are at Destiny's party. Ooh, the mess that happened at Destiny's party. It's so interesting though to think about it. Mess came to Destiny's party, right? But remember when we first met Destiny, she had an issue with Kimmy because Kimmy, in her interview with the producer, said that all she knew about LeBuick was the fact that LeBuick sold her chicken. And Destiny felt some type of way about that, right? And that was one of the running gags of season 2 was the fact that did Kimmy know anything about LeBuick? So Destiny's party, we see Destiny. I don't know who any of the women were that she was with outside of the cast, which was pretty much Mel and Kimmy and Tiffany, right? Kimmy, so I will say all the ladies look good, even the women that we did not know, but Destiny and Mel and Kimmy, gorgeous, hands down. I was like, okay. And one of the people said, "Oh, this is your revenge dress." I'm like, "You damn right, this is a revenge dress," because Mel looked damn good, and so did Destiny, and even Kimmy. I'm like, "Okay, Kimmy, who you getting revenge on? Because your husband is good to you." So then they sit down, right, when Kimmy comes, and Destiny reveals to Kimmy that she and LeBuick are divorced, and Kimmy's like, "Wait a minute, what?" It just gave me the vibe because I was just on Instagram before I recorded this video. And I was on OMFG's Twitter on Instagram on OMFG, and they posted the clip of on Real Housewives of Atlanta season 6 when Kenya told Candy and Cynthia that Velvet had died, and you guys remember, and Cynthia, that's what Kimmy gave me without the theatrics. But Kimmy was like, "Really?" She's like, "I'm so sorry. Like, I'm really sorry. Like, I'm speechless. Like, I'm so sorry." And Destiny's like, "Yeah, you don't have to. It's okay. Like, I'm good." She said, she said she's good. So then Miss Tiffany showed up, right? So before that, actually, Mel asked, Destiny if she knew her. Because she's a part of the Chamber of Commerce. And Destiny's like, "No, I don't think I know her." So, we find out that when Tiffany shows up, we do find out that Kimmy and Tiffany know each other. She said, so what I think it is, so they all, I think some of them I think Tiffany's new husband went to school with Maurice and with Martell. I think that's who he went to school with. But then also Monster plays football with one of her, either her stepson or her son, one of the two. I didn't really catch who she said, but Monster plays football, right? So she's talking about one of her kids thinking about stop playing football. Kim's like, "Oh no, Monster's not about to stop." Monster loves the fact that they scream out his name, "Monster!" Something in my beard. So he loves that, right? Now, Miss Tiffany, what you did was classless and tacky as hell to me. Let's be real. So you gonna sit here and ask Kimmy if Monster got caught in the bathroom vaping? Why would you do that? Now, what you did to Destiny wasn't that bad. Well, it was bad, but Destiny's a grown-ass woman. She can handle herself. But what you did with Kimmy, that was tacky. Why would you sit there and ask about a child if the child got caught in the bathroom vaping? I didn't mean to spit, by the way. Why would you ask if the child got caught in the bathroom vaping? That is just tacky as hell. Like, why? And Kimmy's response was, "Oh, you got to ask Maurice about that." But I know she got to feel some type of way about the fact that I know you, but you're talking about my stepson, and my husband hasn't even told me anything about it. Like, so I know Kimmy had to feel some type of way, right? So then we find out a little bit more about little Miss Tiffany, right? So Tiffany and her husband had a surprise wedding at the new baseball stadium. I'm like, a surprise wedding? How you and she threw the surprise wedding? I'm like, oh wow. What would you have done if he said no? And it just made me question, like, so a surprise wedding, did you also propose to him? Like, I get second, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I get secondhand embarrassment when I see women proposing to men. I really get the secondhand, I don't know if you guys get it, but I definitely get secondhand embarrassment when it comes to a woman proposing to a man. I cringe when I see that shit. And you might be like, well, why, JB? That's cute. No, it's not to me. I just don't think that's cute. I really don't. Because if a man, and I'm gonna tell you guys why I don't think it's cute. Because if a man wanted to be with a woman, he would have already asked you to marry him. Period. You wouldn't have to be like, oh my God, when is he gonna, like, I don't think you should be begging a man to, you shouldn't have to be like, oh baby, my ring finger's kind of bare, ooh, it's missing something. Like, you shouldn't be having, you shouldn't have to throw subtle hints, signs, or even propose to a guy. If the man wants to be with you, he's gonna put forth the effort and let you know that he wants to be with you. And that's why I say I get secondhand embarrassment, because then you put him on the spot, and it's just like, ooh, like I just don't like seeing women propose to men. I just don't. No, it's not. It's no. Yeah, if that man really wanted to be with you, he would propose to you before you propose to him. No. So then we go a little bit messier with Miss Tiffany, right? So they talk about the fact that LeBuick had won an award, right? So I guess he went to this after party and he was with another woman that wasn't Destiny, right? But then eventually Miss Tiffany met Destiny, and she asked Destiny, she's like, oh, I saw you the other night. And Destiny told her that wasn't her. Oh, why would you? That's not, yeah, she's striking out. She's not making the best first impressions. Girl, have they ever told you the first impression is a lasting impression? And your first impression is not a great one. Not a good one at all. But yeah, the jury is still out on Tiffany. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about her, but we gonna see, you guys. We definitely gonna see. But let me know what you guys thought about the episode. Leave your comments in the comment section below and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell button so you guys are aware when I drop anything else, and share the video. And until the next one, stay safe, take care of yourselves. Remember to wash your hands, wear your mask, or not. Please wear a mask, guys. Please. I'm not going to tell you, I'm not telling you guys what to do. I'm just really asking. But be safe and be blessed, you guys. Because this Delta variant is getting bad. But I'm off here, you guys. And I'll see you guys later for tomorrow, Sunday. So I'll see you guys for... now with Power Book 3, I'm weighing my options with that one. I think we might drop it because it just takes too long to watch the show, you guys. It really does. And take the notes, and it just takes me a little bit too long. But I will see you guys for The Chi, and I will see you guys for Potomac, Real Housewives of Potomac. Power Book 3, if I still continue to do it, we're probably just gonna have to move it to a different day. We probably just gonna have to do that on Mondays. And that's probably why if I continue to review Power Book 3, that'll probably have to be what I do, is just record it on a Monday and upload it. But we'll see. So I'll see you guys later. Have a good night, guys. Bye. Damn it.